Hey, what's up you guys, it's Caboose bringing you another Marvel's Avengers video, and today what I got for you guys here is a breakdown on some of the additional things that I got to see after my hands-on with the game. If you don't know, I actually have my hands-on impressions of the game up on the channel, and then with that I was also given an additional presentation on some things about the gear system in the game, alternate costumes, some new ones that I got to see that I will detail for you guys in this video, and a ton more. But before we get into everything, I wanted to ask you guys, of course, if you could leave a like rating on the video as it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. So if you could leave a like, that would be awesome. And with that said, well, let's get into this. So after I was able to play through the A-Day mission and get my hands on with all the characters in the game and play through that tutorial mission, I was then given a presentation that showcased a bit of the gear system and the alternate costumes in Marvel's Avengers, specifically for Iron Man. Talking about the things that I got to see, unfortunately I can't show them to you, however I can definitely give you details about what it is that I saw. One of the costumes that I got to see for Iron Man was essentially almost a prototype suit. If you remember Iron Man 1, the film, the first sequence when Tony Stark is trying to learn how to fly and he's got just these prototype gauntlets on and prototype boots, it's essentially that. It's Tony Stark in normal clothing with prototype gauntlets, prototype boots, and he's wearing some sort of weird VR helmet looking thing almost, and it's very much supposed to be kind of like the early stages Iron Man before he actually makes an official suit. I also then got to see the original Sin armor, which we know is going to be in the game, and we got a bit of a glimpse of in a previous video that I uploaded on the channel that some people got to showcase at Gamescom. And then I also got to see a space-looking armor for Iron Man. I mean, if you remember the actual A-Day demo towards the end when they show just a bunch of different clips from some more events that take place, I'm assuming, later in the game, you see a shot of Iron Man in space in this white, black, and gold-looking suit. I got to see that suit, and it looks fantastic. It looks really freaking cool. And then the last alternate suit that I got to see for Iron Man was the classic Mark 1 armor, which was amazing. The Mark 1 armor is not particularly bulky like the one is in the comics or in the first film. It sort of still looks kind of like the silhouette of Iron Man and sort of a sleeker design, but you can very much tell it was meant to be the original Mark 1 armor, which I thought looked fantastic, and I can't wait to see what it looks like in motion when you're using it in game. And although I have mentioned this in a previous video, I would like to reiterate, as they did mention during this presentation that I was given, that alternate costumes can be earned in-game, and there are certain suits that when you play through missions or side missions or whatever it may be, you can earn them in-game, but they're also going to be alternate costumes that can only be purchased from the in-game marketplace, which I have expressed my thoughts on. If you'd like, the video is up on the channel talking about the first look at the alternate costumes and stuff. So if you'd like, you can see that video. It's up on the channel. I'll leave a card at the top for you to check that out. But overall, I'm glad that you can earn costumes in game. I'll say that much. And although it may seem obvious, they did confirm, which I was really happy to hear, that every character on the roster that gets added down the line will get the same treatment that a lot of the characters in the base roster will get. You will see if they inevitably add a Hawkeye, which, guys, they're going to, come on, that he will get alternate costumes and the whole 9 yards and the full treatment that every character that would be in the base game has gotten as well. So don't worry about that. You're not going to see a DLC character drop down the line or a new character added to the roster that will just be super bare bones and not have any of the additional features that a lot of other characters might have. Now, transitioning from that, I was then shown the gear system in Marvel's Avengers and essentially how it works. Now, for those who don't know, in Marvel's Avengers, there are going to be specific gear pieces for each and every character on the roster that you can choose from to help improve the stats and overall play of that character, and they might even have some additional abilities attached to them. Now, they don't change the look of your character in any way, shape, or form, though. The only way you can change how your character looks is through the alternate costumes. And to be honest, I'm kind of disappointed by this. I was hoping that at least what it would do is that when you change and add new gear for the character, it changes their base design. So Iron Man's normal armor that you've seen in all the promotional material for the game will be changed with the gear, and then when you add a new costume, it's essentially just that costume and the look from that costume placed over top all the gear that you've already had equipped, and all those stats still stay in place. But that's not how it works. The only way you can cosmetically change the look of your character is through the alternate costumes, and then the gear is specifically supposed to be tailored to improve the stats and overall performance of your character. Again, we'll probably get more details as we get closer to the release date, but from what I vaguely remember, it was mentioned that when you complete a mission or you complete any of the side missions or anything like that, you're going to be able to obtain gear pieces for the character that you're playing as. You'll be able to level them up and all that stuff. So I wonder how that's going to work. I wonder how advanced it's going to get. But from what the little snippet that I was shown, it looks like it's going to be a pretty advanced system and something that will definitely keep you coming back and replaying missions, which, by the way, I did get confirmed to me you can do that. For those who might not know, or for those who are wondering, you can replay any of the missions that are available to you in this game, whether it's a story mission or a Warzone mission. As I mentioned in a previous video, there are two different types of missions. So you have your normal hero missions where you'll jump in, and that is a strictly single player experience where you're going to be switching or playing as a specific character, so you don't get to choose in that mission who you get to play as. And then there are Warzone missions, which you can play on your own, and then you can then have the ability to choose whatever hero you want to play as. And then you can also jump online and play with up to 4 players in co-op, which is going to be so much fun. All of this stuff gets accessed after the tutorial mission where you go into this reclaimed helicarrier. It's almost like a destroyed helicarrier that the Avengers have saved, and they go and they use that, and that's essentially your hub world that gets you access to these hero or Warzone missions. There's supposed to be this war table that you go up against, and then you can access all the missions and the different regions that you can travel to, and it seems like there's going to be quite a lot of different regions available to you, as what they were showing us was the American Southwest, and there were a lot of missions and a lot of different areas that you could travel to. So I'm really excited to see what the free roaming is going to be like and what the open world aspect is going to be like. It's not necessarily going to be open world that you may think like a Spider-Man PS4 or like a Batman Arkham game, but there will be areas that you can explore to an extent and fly around and enjoy some of the movement with some of these characters. Obviously, you want to have a little bit of freedom if you're playing as Iron Man to fly around and enjoy some of the environment. So I'm guessing that there will be almost a half or maybe even a quarter open world with different regions that you travel to, and it looks like there's going to be quite a lot of regions that you'll be able to travel to. And then one of the last things I was shown during this presentation was for the skill trees in Marvel's Avengers. And this is where I think you're going to have the most fun customizing your heroes, because I had mentioned this kind of in passing in a previous video, but I got to really see how in-depth this is going to be, and you're really going to be able to customize the heroes and the way that they play to tailor your play style. So they mentioned that you can create a Thor that is way more ranged and has more lightning based or magic based attacks, obviously using Mjolnir to toss it around and all that stuff, or you can play a more brawler type of Thor that's meant to be up close and personal, attacking the hordes of enemies or whatever it may be. They showed a bit of Iron Man skill trees. He's got some missile launchers. He's got some of these lasers that he's swinging around. Some really crazy abilities that you can mix and match and customize to tailor your play style, which is really going to make it fun if you're jumping online and playing with like random people. You'll find or encounter a different Iron Man each and every time, and this can also be a lot of fun to then see how people are going to find what the optimal Iron Man loadout will be like. What is the best Iron Man abilities to attach to him so that you can have the best damage output against the enemies in the game. I think that's going to be a ton of fun to mess around with. Honestly, it was the most impressive thing that I saw during that presentation, aside from the alternate costumes, because I really liked the alternate costumes that they showed for Iron Man. But overall, I was super impressed with the skill trees. I'm thinking you guys are going to love that too. Hopefully, they release it online soon so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of everything that I've been mentioning here in this video. Hopefully, it all becomes available online so then you guys can get an idea of what I'm talking about here and how cool a lot of these things look. And with that said, that's going to bring the video that I got for you guys here to an end. I'm now going to kick it to you guys. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Based on what you're hearing here, does it excite you more about Marvel's Avengers? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, if you could leave a like rating on it, it shows your support, and I would really appreciate it. I'm Caboose, and you can click on screen to make your way to one of the other videos on the channel, or you can click my logo to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, and subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.